Hi guys, today we're back for another video. We're going to play Russian Cash 200 NL. So hope you enjoyed. And let's dive into the action. And King 7, it's gonna be a call in small blind. It's not the type of hand you want to free bet, but if the guy is really tight and don't 4-bet you enough, this hand starts to make more money as a free bet. But against a villain that I don't know and seems tight, I will just call. And facing this sizing, I think this hand is a pure call. Don't really have a lot of incentive to raise here. Would like to raise better King X here. On the Queen, when he decides to check, I think that I'm going to bet exploitatively here for our spots. The reason is that I don't expect enough King 8, King 10, King Jack, and 9-9, Queen Queen to be in the check raising line. So I think his range is not strong enough and will contain a lot of Queen X that I can value bet twice. And because people don't protect enough the check calling range on the turn, I will abuse and exploit this by betting a bit too much the King X region. 7-6 suited here, I will defend. When there is like like an open and 2 calls here, this type of hands also make money by free betting. I think this is also what I'm gonna do here. Because I expect to steal the bot way too much, and I also expect these players to not raise enough the squeeze here. The only thing problematic here is this guy is playing 50 big blind deep, so post-flop it's more complicated to manage, and he can jam also pre-flop a bit more than if he was 100 deep, but still think it's okay. And 7-6 here, I will just check. There are not a lot of hands that we are full equity on, and then that might fold the flop, might also fold the turn, so I prefer to check this type of combo as deep here. And on D7, I think we can start like checking and also bluffing this hand, because I don't expect a lot of Queen X, also flushes, and he can fold a lot in the cold turn. And I mean, he can fold a lot when I bet big the turn is what I want to say. I still think that the check here is completely fine. And on the river, when he bet half pots, I just don't expect enough ace of spade here, and he might bluff a bit too much with his size. I'm gonna jump because I really don't think that he has the ace of spade, especially betting as fast, and I think he will fold any spades here. Most of recreational players just see and are aware that's the spots where nobody bluff here. So I really like to jump over the call here. I don't think the call is so bad because, as I said, I don't expect a lot of people to value bet hands like tens with a spade, for example, with this size. Of course, that might happen often, and that's why against players that can value bet the jack of spade or the 10 of spade, I just prefer to jam here because I think this range might fold. And I think the problem with the call is he can bluff hands like 9-8 suited, 9-10 suited, and these hands beat us, so I just prefer to jam. But as I see here, it's really this pattern here. Like flushes will bet the turn often, hands like ace jack, ace queen with the ace of, it's a bit close here, will fold. The end with the ace of spades, I think they will bet the turn way too much. And on the river, I don't expect these hands to bet this sizing, especially as fast, so I really like to jam here. When you do this move, sometimes it's not going to go through, but you just need to look at the pot odds you have, and here I think it was the best move. I stand again on ace king king. Here's the default strategy. I will play one big blind with my monetary range here, and this strategy will work super well. He has to call extremely large, and I don't expect people to find the close call here. And some of them will even fold the pocket pair here sometimes. King suited here, I will call. I'll check the turn here. I think we want to barrel mainly polar with king x and like way better h6 like ace queen. I don't think ace 10 worth a bet here on the turn most of the time. I don't think it's bad, but I just prefer to check against the villain's range here. And now with ace 10, I will bet even if I don't think that we get value super often. And it's an easy spot for him to check raise also, so I think the value bet is so clear, but that's okay, I think. Oh wow, go with queen jack, okay. Why not? Why not? And queen deuce here, I will not bluff against this range. Or maybe we can, I don't know. Yeah, I will bluff because I don't expect a lot of people to like randomly hero call ace queen, ace king. And I think the range of a tight player is super often ace king, ace queen, ace jack here in this spot. And if you fold this all the time, the play is sprinting. So I think by default, the betting is better here. Ace king off here, we decided to free bet. The board is queen 8-7. It's not a good board for us at all. We should check a lot. But I will just play the default one first strategy because I don't expect players to raise enough by c-bet here. And also don't expect them to call enough on a barrel on the turn. The turn is a jack. He will have ends like 9-10 now that makes straight. But in general, I think that second barreling the turn here is completely fine. And I will just go for big sizing here. Default. Here I will free bet this end. False. The board is king 9 deuce. It's a board where you can have super small bet strategy with your entire range here. And it's going to be completely fine. And in theory, I expect bets as small as 20% here, and we can mix between 20 and 1/3. I think it's completely fine. Facing a cold 4-bet here, I don't expect these hands to be folded. And I think the jam is completely fine here. Especially because I don't expect a lot of call from ace king, and if he folds a lot of ace king, jamming is really profitable. And if this guy like rejam, my queens will be always a fold, and even kings will be in a really tough spot. So I guess we just have to fold this hand. It might be fun to have some click here because when I click, I expect to represent super strong. But as I said, I don't think we can. Even if he has ace king here, I don't think we can play queens. It would be just a fold in theory here. Ace 4 off. I'm going to call this in again. We can free bet it sometimes. King jack off here on this monotone board. You can bet like one big blind range here. I will try the check. I think mixing between bet and check here is completely okay. I think the checking line has a lot of benefits, especially when people fall against prop bets on many runouts. And now with the ace 4, I'll just bet small here as an explore. I don't think these hands want to bet small super often, but I expect not enough check raise and too much check call from villain. So I expect the bet to be better than the check against the bull here. And on the 5, I think this hand now is just a check. And on ace king 5 suited here, it's one of the only board where you can have some big bets here, even if it's a monotone board. And against small blind, it also makes sense. And we need to have this type of hands that bluff, because if we don't have this type of hands, then come the queen of hearts, and we just don't have bluffs. We only bet big with a heart. And I also expect on a lot of runouts I expect people on a lot of runouts not to call enough, so I think it's okay. And he had ace king here. Next here, I will check. And on the turn now, I expect to have the best hand super often. I will just bet small and bet the river again. And now on this river, I don't think we can bet. We'll have hands like his queen, and we just don't value enough pocket pair this way. So we can maybe do something, but I'll do something a bit crazy. I'll bet one big blind because I expect most people to call when they have pocket pairs. And if he raises me, he never has hands like 4s, 9, 10, 8, 7s. And actually I can bet one big blind and make him fold his queen X region that raises the river. Or if you have any like queen jack, for example, I think it will fold super often also. So I like this type of play where you can value bet his weaker parts, and against his stronger parts, you can let him raise to let him fall after. With ace king off here, I'll call. The problem with 4-betting here is against since a weaker player, I don't think the 4-bet makes too much money, so I will just prefer the passive option. I will call here facing the bets. Turn is a 10. And against barrel on the turn, I think we fortunately just have to fold for him. He will have a lot of hands like aces, kings, ace, queen. And fortunately, I don't have enough information to call this hand here. Because the player that's played 2012 might like call pre-flop hands like king jack, king 9 suited, so you can have less bluffs than in theory. And if it's the case, this king is not a good call here. Base use on jack 9-4. It's about where again you can use the smaller bet sizing. This time I'll decide to use the bigger one. This type of low a6 hands are great to be in the big bet sizing. I expect this hand so to be a bit less in the big sizing because you don't have backdoors. But I still think it's okay to bet this. And he fold. 6 suited here. I will call. Okay, so he told me that he has ace king. Pretty interesting. I believe him. Like it's the end that makes the most sense, I would guess. But even if he has ace king, like I would just flip against ace king. Even if we have better odds because there's a lot of money in the middle. And the guys at the small line still have like kings, aces, so still think queens is a fold here. Of course, we can be sure that he has ace king, even if I believe him. Then 6 here, we can put this in the bet on the turn, also the check. I think both options are okay. And now with 6, I will just range bet this spot in 200 Nl. On the 4 spade, I will use mainly the 3/4 sizing on the turn, and a6 is okay to bet. I think it's also okay to check. And now with 10-6, we don't have value, I guess. So I will just check with this hand. I don't expect a lot of better hands to play this way, but I don't think we can value bets because he needs to call a lot of hands that I don't think people will call. So I'll just check this hand. And he has pocket deuces. And on the 10, we can bluff hands like Broadway that checks the turn. I think a6 is a bit too strong to bluff here, so I will not. And he has a7, so he won. King queen off here, we've decided to 3-bet. The board is jack 4 deuce. I will bet half pot here. We can mix between half pots 1/3 in check in theory, and I expect the half pots range to be extremely good because I don't think players raise enough on the flop here on most stakes. So the strategy I will advise you. We're gonna end the video now, so hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check the description. Bye guys.